In early November, we traveled to Kibuye, Rwanda, a small town on the edge of Lake Kivu.
We are here in Kibuye, in front of the church, and behind us there is a memorial. I think it's for the people who were here during the 1994. So here the many Tutsi came, and then they have been killed from here. That's why they built this memorial.
It was here that our friend Solange survived the genocide at the age of 11, barely escaping a massacre that occurred inside this church, and another at a stadium that used to stand here, just after witnessing the death of her mother. Today, Solange has her own daughter, who, as she gets older, is becoming more and more curious about the past.
Because there is some unavoidable questions. If my daughter come and approach me and ask me, why I don't have my grandma, I have nothing to tell her.
Questions like these put pressure on survivors in many ways. First, they have to deal with the emotional difficulty of explaining to their children that their grandparents are not here today because they were killed in a genocide. Second, they must explain what genocide means as it relates to the concept of ethnicity in Rwanda.
So it's hard because they ask what kind of those people, means you have to specify those people.
This task becomes particularly difficult because children in schools today are not taught to consider themselves as Hutu or Tutsi, but as Rwandans, which is a measure the government took to prevent the consequences of the type of ethnic discrimination that was taught to children of previous generations. It was those lessons, after all, that led to the genocide itself.
Ubwo mbese ivangura ryaragaragara muri rusange kubera ko nkiri mu mashuri abanza batwigishaga iby'amoko ubwo twigishwaga yuko kera abatutsi bari abantu babi ubwo ariko twebwe nkuko twabyigishwaga twumvaga ko ari byiza kuko ntabwo twari dusobanukiwe.
Abana babahagurutsaga mukiri bato guhera mu wa mbere urumva ko ntago washoboraga kwiga umuntu amaze kubabwira ati abantu nimuhaguruke, abantu bafite ubwoko nimuhaguruke, aribo batutsi bakababara mukabona kwicara. Icyo cyonyine ni torture morale.
In order to avoid the consequences of ethnic discrimination, one question for genocide survivors today is this: how can they explain to the new generation what truthfully happened, that over 80% of the Tutsi ethnicity was killed by hundreds of thousands of Hutu soldiers and militiamen, but explaining it without alienating the Hutu of today, as the whole society strives to maintain the state of peace and tolerance that has been established in the years since 1994.
And I remember I have, it's sad, but somehow I laugh. One day my daughter came and conversed. We were really happy. And she came and said, Mom, sometimes you laugh, and when you are laughing, the time came and you do like this. And I said, no, you're lying. And after like 2 minutes, she went and she came back and she told me, remind me, you told me my grandma got killed. Yes? And I replied, yes. How? Try to tell me a little bit about that. And I told her the bad people came at our house, and they came very quickly, and they entered in the house and they took Mom and they killed her. But tell me, how? And I told her they chopped her. And she started crying. Really? Mama, tell me, what kind of those people? They say, those people are bad. She went, and after 5 minutes she came. That showed me how she's thinking. She's somehow trying to understand. And after 5 minutes she came and asked me, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. you were poor. And I said, no, my family, no, we weren't poor. And why you ask me that? Because if those bad people came and managed to enter in your house, you didn't have strong doors and windows. And I started crying and I ran away. I told her I will explain you when you will grow up. This means always they have questions.
urumva kubera kubibona barabyumva tubivuga bumva nyine umuntu avuga ko wenda ababyeyi abavandimwe se bapfuye muri ubwo buryo bazize jenoside. Ikindi barabibona ku mateleviziyo cyane cyane mu gihe cy'icyunamo, nabo nyine baba bavuga se aba bantu bisha abantu babiciye iki. Ibyo ngibyo byo ni inkuru tubabwira, tukababwira tuti ababyeyi bacu barapfuye kandi bapfuye muri ubu buryo, ku buryo babyumva nk'inkuru kuko batari bagira ubwenge bwo kubitekerezaho cyane.
Ibyo ni ngombwa bagomba kubimenya kandi baranabibaza baranabizi kuko cyane cyane bareba kuko bagenda bakura nibo bagenda bamenya kuko usibye na hano mu rugo no hanze barabyumva no mu mashuri barabyiga kubera iyi politike y'igihugu y'ubumwe n'ubwiyunge. Noneho no mu mibanire abanyeshuri bigana n'abandi na bagenzi babo, ikibigaragaza ko badafite icyo kintu cy'urwango rw'ubwoko nuko bafite n'inshuti yenda zo mu bundi bwoko. Icyo gihe urumva ko ibintu by'ubumwe n'ubwiyunge biroroshye kubera ko cyane cyane kuri abana babyiruka bo nta kibazo bazagira.
Yewe ukuntu byakira urabona ibyabaye byose byatewe na politike mbi. Ntabwo ari ukuvuga burya icyo utoje umuntu nicyo afata. Habayeho politike mbi itoza abanyarwanda kwangana, ibatoza kwicana. Kubera ko rero ubu ngubu hariho politike nziza itoza abanyarwanda kubana, bundi aka kantu ko kuvuga ngo ubwoko bw'abahutu n'abatutsi bundi ni ikintu bundi umuntu yakagombye kurenga, kuko ubu kuri iki gihe abantu barakora mu rwego rw'isi, ntabwo noneho bakora mu rwego rw'igihugu gusa, ku buryo kugira ibitekerezo nk'ibi ngibi mu by'ukuri natwe nta hantu bishobora kutugeza.
Buhoro buhoro nubwo biruhije ariko buhoro buhoro cyane cyane kuri abana babyiruka bo nta kibazo bazagira.